Don't freak out, Megan said, twirling the stem of her wine glass between her fingers. But I've been thinking, maybe we should try an open marriage. I nearly choked on my beer. Excuse me? She shrugged like she was asking me to rearrange the living room. I just feel like we're in a rut, you know? Things have gotten stale. I think it could be fun for both of us. Stale? I laughed, setting my beer down a little harder than I meant to. We've been married 6 years, Megan. That's called commitment. She gave me that fake sweet smile she used when she was about to say something shitty. Come on, Jake. I love you, but don't you ever think about being with someone else? Just a little? No, I said flatly. Her eyes narrowed. Liar. I should have ended the conversation right there. Should have walked away. But I didn't. I stayed, sipping my beer, listening to her go on about freedom and spicing things up. Look, if you don't want to, that's fine, she finally said, crossing her arms. But I'm just saying, I've already had some offers. I froze. Offers? She smirked. Relax. Nothing happened. Yet. I stared at her, heart pounding. Jesus, Megan. Are you really serious right now? She leaned forward, resting her chin in her hand. I just think if we loosen things up a bit, we'd appreciate each other more. It doesn't have to mean anything. Just sex.
No strings, punto. No strings.
I sat back in my chair, running my tongue over my teeth. This wasn't the woman I married. But I wasn't about to beg. You know what, Megan? I said, forcing a smile. Sure, let's do it. Open marriage. Go have your fun. Her eyes widened. She wasn't expecting that. Oh, okay. She shifted uncomfortably. Cool. I guess I'll start slow. Maybe dinner with this guy from the gym. Nothing crazy. Go for it. She hesitated, clearly waiting for me to crack. I didn't. Instead, I kissed her on the cheek, grabbed my jacket, and headed out. If she wanted to play this game, I'd let her. She just didn't know I played it better. It started with late nights. Megan would come home smelling like cologne that wasn't mine. Her lipstick slightly smudged. Hair a little too messy for just dinner. You're late, I said one night as she stumbled in around midnight. She grinned, sliding her heels off by the door. Lost track of time. Jake, it's no big deal. You're the one who said yes. Right? I said, sipping my whiskey. Didn't think you'd dive in head first. She laughed, kicking her feet up on the couch like nothing was wrong. What can I say? Guys love a married woman. It's like catnip for them. I stared at her, biting my tongue so hard it almost bled. Let her gloat. Her fall was coming. 3 weeks in, she stopped pretending to hide it. I came home early one afternoon, and there she was, sprawled out on our bed, naked, texting some asshole named Troy, while giggling like a teenager. I didn't say a word. She didn't even bother to cover herself. Hey babe, she said casually. Home early. Yeah, I said, scanning the room for any sign of Troy. You alone? She smirked, not answering. I nodded. Noted. I walked to the closet, grabbed a gym bag, and stuffed it with clothes. Where are you going? She asked, sitting up, sheets sliding down her body. Out. Megan pouted. Oh, come on, don't be like that. You said you were cool with this. I smiled as I zipped the bag. Oh, I am. Don't wait up. Here's the thing. Megan thought I'd sit around like a cuckold while she fucked other men. She thought I'd sulk. She thought wrong. I didn't waste time. 2 nights later, I went out for drinks with Cassie, Megan's coworker. She'd been flirting with me for months, but I'd always brushed it off. Now, I leaned into it. You sure Megan's okay with this? Cassie asked, sipping her cocktail as she crossed her legs. Oh yeah, I said, sliding my hand over her knee. She was the one who asked for the open marriage. Cassie raised an eyebrow. Damn, ballsy. You have no idea. That night, I fucked Cassie in the backseat of my truck. Megan was still out when I got home, so I left my phone on the kitchen counter, screen unlocked. Text from Cassie glowing bright. Let her see it. She wanted this game. Now she had to play it too. The next morning, Megan was unusually quiet. I sat at the kitchen table, scrolling through my phone as she pretended to focus on her coffee. Her eyes flicked to the screen every few seconds. I could see the text from Cassie still open. Finally, she set her mug down a little too hard. So, Cassie, huh? I didn't look up. Yeah, she's fun. Her jaw tightened. Didn't think you'd actually take this seriously. I shrugged. You're the one who said no strings, right? Megan forced a smile, but I could see the cracks forming. Right? As long as we're both happy. She kissed my cheek, the same way she always did when she was lying, and left for work. Except she didn't go to work. I followed her. She met Troy at a motel on the edge of town. They didn't even make it to the room. He pinned her against the hood of his car, hands all over her, while she moaned like she wasn't married. I didn't stop them. I let her dig the hole deeper. By the time she got home that night, I was waiting on the couch, drink in hand. Long day, I asked casually. She hesitated. Yeah, work was brutal. I smirked, swirling the ice in my glass. Ha, that's funny. Her eyes narrowed. Why? I set the glass down carefully, leaning forward. Because I drove by your office today. Megan froze. I watched her, letting the silence stretch until her face turned pale. Troy's car looks nice, I said, my voice cold. You looked real comfortable on it. She opened her mouth, but no sound came out. I laughed under my breath. Relax, Megan. It's an open marriage, right?
No strings. Punto.
Her lip trembled slightly. Jake, save it. I snapped, cutting her off. You made the rules. I'm just following them. I grabbed my keys and left without another word. Let her sit in it. 2 months passed. Megan's flings didn't slow down, but the fire in her eyes started fading. I could see it. The thrill was wearing off. She'd come home late, avoiding my gaze, but I didn't push. I let her stew in the silence, pretending everything was fine. Then, one night, she dropped the bomb. I was watching TV when she stood in front of me, wringing her hands like a nervous teenager. Jake, I need to tell you something. I muted the TV. Yeah. Her eyes flicked to the floor. I'm pregnant. The room spun for a second. I set the remote down slowly, meeting her gaze. And it's not mine, is it? Megan flinched, guilt written all over her face. I don't know. She knew. I leaned back, letting out a long breath. Wow. She rushed forward, kneeling in front of me like she was suddenly desperate. Jake, listen. This doesn't have to change anything. I still love you. I laughed coldly. You love me? You've been sleeping with half the town. Tears welled in her eyes. I messed up. Okay? I thought this would help us. I stared down at her, unmoved. And now what? You expect me to raise his kid. She grabbed my hands, squeezing tight. Please, Jake, don't give up on me. I'll stop everything. No more open marriage. Just you and me. We can fix this. I didn't pull away. I let her hold on, her tears soaking into my jeans. And then, in the calmest voice I could manage, I said,
No, Megan.
We can't. Her head snapped up, panic flooding her eyes. Wait! I stood, forcing her to stumble back. You wanted this. You broke us. She tried to speak, but I was already walking toward the bedroom. Where are you going? She choked out. I paused at the doorway. Packing, I said simply. You're not the only one who can play this game. The next morning, Megan woke up to the sound of drawers slamming shut. She stumbled into the bedroom, eyes puffy from crying. Jake, you're really leaving? I zipped the suitcase without looking at her. Yep. She rushed forward, grabbing my arm. Jake, please. We can go to counseling. I made a mistake, but I yanked my arm free. A mistake is forgetting an anniversary. This was months of lying, sneaking around, and getting pregnant by some gym rat. Her lip trembled. I'll get an abortion. I paused, staring at her in disbelief. You think that's the solution? You think killing his kid is going to make me take you back? Megan's face twisted in desperation. I'm your wife, Jake. Don't throw everything away because of this. We can start over. I chuckled bitterly, shaking my head. Megan, you threw it away the second you fucked Troy in our bed. She froze, eyes wide. How did you? I smirked, pulling my phone from my pocket. Security cameras, sweetheart. I've been watching the whole show. Her face turned ghost white. Oh, and don't worry, I added. I sent the footage to Troy's girlfriend too. She wasn't thrilled. Megan's mouth opened, but nothing came out. Checkmate. I grabbed my suitcase, brushing past her without a second glance. As I reached the front door, I turned back. You'll be hearing from my lawyer. Enjoy your open marriage, Megan. You'll be in it alone now. I stepped outside and shut the door behind me, locking her out of my life for good. She wanted freedom. Now she had it. Thank you for listening the story to the end. Write your thoughts about it in the comments and do not forget to subscribe. See you in the next videos.